Good morning, fellow Americans. I forgot to put a post here, which I want to put it anyway because I need to put it on. I just always do it before I go in live, which is requesting the freedom of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia. This is Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia, who was kidnapped and is being tortured in the prisons of Cuba. He's innocent. You know, they just came up with trumped up charges like they always do. In all communist regime, they always do that. They can't get you for something and they'll trump up a charge. You raped. As a matter of fact, they want to execute you. They'll put something pretty bad like rape or killing some Cuban official. Even though it wasn't him, they'll blame it on him, on the person, just so they can blame him. Just like they did to Roger Stone. It's the same thing. The communists in the United States are doing the same thing. Look at Roger Stone, an innocent man in prison for so many years. Even though we know he's innocent, he's not a danger to society. It's just the communists, like Bernie Sanders, all of them, they want to pin something on him just because he was ruining them. He was denouncing their corruption, and he had a whole bunch of information against them, and they just wanted to ruin him. That's all it's about. That's all it's about. Just like they did with Michael Flint, or Mike Flint, I think. Mike Flint or Michael Flint. It's the same thing they're doing. Thank God Michael Flint was released, and it's found innocent. They found out investigating that all the charges were trumped up. They're false charges. What happened was he was a straight out guy who was against Obama's policy, and they had to get rid of him. That's all it is. The communists want to get rid of you. They'll do it one way or another. And God forbid Bernie Sanders win, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. The guy's lying through his teeth saying that he's not going to be like Fidel Castro. He's not going to be like Nicolás Maduro. He's not going to. I guarantee you, if he wins, remember this, he ever wins, and the people in the United States doesn't wake up, especially the young, the teens, or these university college students, which are brainless, you know, they're going to be victims also. It doesn't matter if you support Bernie Sanders. He wants you to die, you'll die, period. The only one who's not going to do a Breadline, because he's in favor of Breadlines. The only one who's not going to do Breadlines and is not going to share the same misery that he's going to impose on the United States is him. He's going to be the most powerful and richest man on earth with how many millions of people are in the United States? Or billions? Let's say there's billions. I really don't remember the count, and I'm sorry if I don't. But that's the amount of people are going to be enslaved, including his own that support him. Even those who follow him, even those who do his dirty job are going to be enslaved, because if one man or another he wants to get rid of them, or they do not comply because their family members or loved ones are being hurt, they're gone also. Look what happened in the ex-Soviet Union. Joseph Stalin. You want a more evil? Lenin. It started off with Lenin. Then came in Joseph Stalin, who murdered millions. Even people who were just because somebody didn't like somebody or a neighbor, they were accused of conspiring against the government, and they were put on the list without any investigation, sent to the gulags and died over there, frozen to death of the hunger or disease or whatever it was. And it's going to happen in the United States. Believe me, it's just going to happen just the same. It's the same. No matter what you think, no matter what you don't want to think, because if you don't want to think or you don't want to hear, believe me, you're going to want to hear when it starts happening. Because when they step on your corn, on your corn, you're going to scream. You're going to scream if you don't commit suicide. There's going to be millions of people committing suicide also. They're not going to withstand the horrors and the hunger and the misery they're going to go through. Believe me, it's going to happen. God forbid, but if you don't wake up and you don't smell what's happening, you're going to get it real good. It's going to happen. Believe me. And I'm telling you because I do this in English, but then I go to the Spanish sector, and there's a whole bunch of videos. I posted a whole bunch of photos of what happened in Cuba, the misery, the crisis, the poverty, the housing there, people living in a hut that looks like a latrine, people that can't afford, that work with the government, only getting a pension of which amounts to about $4 a month. It's happening in Venezuela. People receiving less than $5 a month in salary. That's the salary. And you know why that happened? Because of the inflation. There's no productivity. Everything has been expropriated. And since there's no productivity and things, whatever there is, or they have to export, is going to cost a whole bunch of money. It's like a sandwich. You're going to eat a sandwich that it's like one article that came out that says millionaires that are poor, millionaires that are poor because you receive like hundreds or millions of dollars, but then what happened? A small sandwich, will cost you like $2,000 and something dollars. Hey, and that's the way it's going to be. In Cuba, a person in Cuba, I remember Don Bongino saying that he found out that a pensioner receives $10 a month. That was wrong. Don, you're one of the best. If I hear anybody, you're the first one I hear in the morning because you're one of the best. But you're misinformed because it's not the pensioner. It's the regular worker who receives $10 a month, who receives $4 a month is the pensioner, the pensioner, or how you call it, the one who's pension. Let me put it that way. I don't know if I'm saying things right. And the veterans in Cuba who fought in Angola. Remember the war in Angola where the Cubans participated? How they were receiving $4. And Raul Castro, just because Buttigieg Part 2 wanted to live the happy life, he took away $1 from the veterans. Now they're receiving $3. You see them sleeping in sewers and garbage dumps, these big garbage dumps that they put near grocery stores. Some of them living under the railroads and these tunnels, or living on the bridges. It's terrible. The same thing is happening in California. The same thing is happening in California. Communist California, the regime in California, they're hardcore communists. These people have infiltrated the party, and they're imposing the communist system, which has deteriorated the people to the level of a pauper, of a bum, of a hobo, living on the bridges, living in tunnels, living in subway tunnels, and living in sewer systems, and if they don't drown to death. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in the United States. Believe it. If you don't wake up, I'm directing myself to the liberals, including those here in Puerto Rico, who don't learn. It's going to happen here. We're going to be deteriorated to the point where you're not going to be able to go nowhere. Where are you going to go? To the moon? Because the most greatest country on earth, the most powerful and the most capitalist is the United States. So it's the only one left over. The other ones have turned into Islamic states like UK, France, Sweden, Australia is another one that's turning into an Islamic state. And the United States, New Jersey, New York, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Minnesota. There's a large community of Muslims there. And we're letting them control our lives. And it's gonna get worse. They already elected a police chief, a Muslim police chief, who swore on the Quran, the most satanic evil book, one of the most satanic evil book, on earth, besides the devil worshiper organization. And nobody wants to hear this. But I'm going to say it. I don't care what happened. You want to censor me? You want to? Anybody wants to kill me? Hey, it's the truth. That's it. And those who refuse to want to know, those who get angry and attack conservatives, hey, you're going to get it real good. You're going to get it real good. Your family is going to get hurt. Your sons, your kids, your grandsons, all the family. If you don't die by decapitation from the Muslims, you'll die from the communists, by hunger or in a concentration camp. They wanted, one of the staff of Bernie Sanders said he wanted to implant a gulag here. They want to implant the gulags here. Bernie Sanders lying to his teeth because he wants to win, no matter what. How he doesn't care how much he lies. He's lying through his teeth, and people are. You know what's horrific about this? People are believing this crap. Danny DeVito is one of them. Michael Moore is another one. And a whole bunch of other actors. A whole bunch of other actors. Incredible. They're deranged and stupid. You know, they're twisted. Their mind is twisted. And some of them are just communists, because I found out some of them are just plain communists. They went to communist school, their parents were communists, and they're communists. And they think they're not going to be hurt by the communist system. You know, they're dead wrong. Their career, their life, their whole style, the luxuries, everything's going to go to mush. Because one slip of their tongue against Bernie Sanders, or if Bernie Sanders doesn't like it, or if Bernie Sanders just wants to say, no, you're going to expropriate this. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to live in a housing project. And you can't say a word. Because if you say a word, you know what's going to happen to you. If you haven't learned, you're never going to learn. And you're that stupid, you better learn. Because it's going to happen to you. You should see the movie Joseph Stalin with Robert Duvall. That probably might wake you up. But there are other movies about communism. The hellish. Let me see. The Inner Circle is a movie they call it Inner Circle, and there's another movie of this boxer. I think he won a Russian. He won. I think was a boxing championship here in the United States. They went to Russia. His father was part of the Communist Party. And the guy was, the guy refused to go through the rules of the communists. You know, they applauded him and they praised him until they found out he was against them. They made his life miserable. He almost died there. But he managed to flee and he came back to the United States. That's what all these dumb idiots are going to do. They're going to flee, and then they're going to want to, oh, I wish I could help. We're going to form a political organization to try to destroy Bernie Sanders and this and that, communism in the United States. But then once it's imposed, forget about it. You can say, kiss your ass goodbye, that's it. Go wherever you want. Maybe you go to the moon. I don't know. Well, there you can't live. It's inhabitable. Oh, Mars. I don't know. There's another planet in the solar system, which is let me see how they call it, like a fantasy planet, or planet just like our planet. If you can find one, go there. You got the money to build a rocket that can take you there, but then you're going to be all by yourself. You're going to have to start over, just like Adam and Eve. Well, if you can start with Adam and Eve, you're going to have to take a couple of women just in case one of them die on the way, or through hunger, or you better think about it. You better think about it. It's not going to be the same. I guarantee you that it's going to be hell on earth. I'm telling you, because I've been following, I've been studying, I've been reading, I've been watching documents about it. You should watch this video called The Bloody History of Communism and the Bloody History of Islam. For those who love Islam and say they're a religion of peace, watch the video. This videos. Even one ex-Muslim said when they asked him, "So what do you think about Islam?" Well, it's the first criminal organization in U.S. in history. Excuse me, not the U.S. in history. And it was organized, or it was born in the year 600 after Christ, the year 600, or the 600th century. Let me put it that way. By Muhammad, a man who didn't know how to read and write because he was so poor. He just wanted to be just like the Jews. So one of those who were intelligent enough to know, well, just forming a religion, and he did that. The most satanical, diabolical, and hellish, if you want to call it religion or criminal organization, they put that terrorist organization on there. And it's true. You don't believe me? Okay. If you don't believe me, why don't you go take a trip to Afghanistan or Somalia or Angola and go to the Muslim community and say, "Hey, I embrace Islam." They'll cut your head right off there, or you're standing. "Oh, you do? Come over here." And your body will go back without the head. Let me show a photo, which I didn't do at first, of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia, and I want to show an advertisement like I always do, which I failed to do at first. This is Jose Daniel Ferrer. I'll put a little bit up because I'm requesting to free Jose Daniel Ferrer. Not only free him, to free all political prisoners in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, Nicaragua, I forgot that one, and China. I'm getting a little bit better because I bought me another table, which is I can adjust it to a height, and I can close it on me. I don't have to bend over like I used to on the other table. The other one was a drawer, not a plastic drawer, and it was pretty uncomfortable, and it was just forcing me to bend over a lot. And it's going to get better because I'm just waiting for this equipment to hold on to this phone, which is a phone holder. Excuse me. Now let me put the advertisement, and I'll start going on the news. This is from a friend of mine in Maya, West Puerto Rico, who sells these electric generators. This is a great alternative to gasoline-operated generators. The regular gasoline-operated generators, you know that they take oil. They can fail on you because they flood with gasoline, or if you choke it too much, or a line can break and you spill oil and gasoline. You know, all that kind of contaminations, which you don't get on these battery-operated electric generators. They come with a solar panel too. And it depends on what you're willing to pay. Some of them will last up to even 3 days if it's raining or it's cloudy, without sun, like the one that's the most expensive and the biggest one. And like I said, the address is right on 8101. It's Dr. Tech, Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, not Mayagüez Mall, Mayagüez Mall in Puerto Rico. He'll advise you. Make sure that when you decide to buy this, make sure he gives you a guarantee, and make sure it works on 220. He told me that works on 220, but I'm giving you this advice because sellers will tell you that it'll take you to the moon and everything you want to say. Oh yeah, it'll take you to here. You can go to travel on that on a plane, and it'll operate a plane from here to Russia. They'll come up with a whole bunch of stuff just to sell it to you. But you make sure he puts it in writing. If he tells you yes, it does, it's okay. We'll put it in writing and read the contract that you're going to sign for financing, refinancing, because he'll finance the product to you, but make sure it'll work, and make sure it works on 220. And as a matter of fact, tell him to plug it on a 220. Put it on 220, see what happens. Because if he plugs it on a 220 and it goes off, that means it doesn't. He's lying. You know, I hate to say it, but that's the truth. He told me it's going to work on 220. So because I got an electric stove, I got I got stuff here that work with 220. And if I'm going to use it, it's going to use this. It better work on 220. And he better put a guarantee. Yes, you got 2 years of guarantee. And if he tells you it doesn't because it's an electric equipment, don't buy it. Don't buy it because it's not gonna work. But if he does give you those guarantees, like he told me it's gonna work, hey, it's worth it then. It's worth it. So let me go on the news and let's stop the advertisement here and go directly to the news. Let's see what's happening in the world of Islam, which I always like to start with. Who claims to call themselves a religion of peace, or like the idiots in the United States, liberals say they're a religion of peace. Yeah, right. Peace, my rear. Okay. This is in India. A lot of things are happening in India. I don't know what happened because I remember the prime minister or president of India, I don't know if they call him prime minister or president, but let me put it, the leader, the main leader, the leader of India. I remember that whoever was elected, because I don't remember they were going to cancel or they're going to stop Muslims or they're going to deport them. I don't know, something like that to the effect. Something is happening there that they just turned to the left, too much to the left, and they're permitting this. Because if I was the leader of the nation, I was a conservative, hey, close it down. No, you got to leave. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, the Constitution of India says no. We got freedom. Well, do it in your country because we got freedom for people that are peaceful. But the last thing we have found out in the investigation, we're finding rocks on the roof and you throwing acid to our police. It's not gonna shit because it's here. What I'm saying about throwing acid to the police and saving rocks on the roof of their mosque and buildings and throwing where they have buildings and throwing rocks at the people and stabbing and all kinds of stuff. If I were him, if I were the leader, no, you got to go, period. No, man, my son was wanted. He's going to go with you, too. No anchor babies. Bye-bye. Hey. Oh, I'm going to get you. Yeah, okay, bye. You get me from over there. And if he tries to attempt something, hey, execute him. Execute him. That's what you got to do. Oh, you kill an Indian. Think of your own people, of your nation. If they kill people, they execute them. And if it's a couple of them, execute a couple of them. And they was conspiring to overthrow the government of India, execute them. Execute them. Don't exile them. Execute them. They'll do it to us. Why not do it to them? Are we that stupid? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Talking about cops having acid thrown in the face. Acid factory discovered inside Muslim-owned shop as Muslims attack cops with acid. You know what acid is, right? If they throw it on you, it'll go from one side to the other. It'll eat your flesh and it'll just drop. Just a drop. That's acid. Here, look at the barrels of acid there. They just found out. They found these barrels of acid. The reality of the situation in Delhi, we found that the Muslim establishments were unharmed and secure, while the Hindu shops were blown into smithereens. Delhi's acid factory inside a shop called Deepak Band run by one Feroz Khan, suspected of supply and acid during the riots. An acid factory was discovered in Shiv Vihar by Republic News Network, from where it is speculated that acid was supplied to the riot-hit areas during the anti-Hindu Delhi riots. The said factory is located in a residential area right next to a school. The acid factory was inside a shop that had Deepak Band written in front of it, but the business of supplying chemicals and acid was run by one Feroz Khan, a resident of Jamuna, Bihar, and in Delhi. Close it down, expropriate it, give it to a businessman who converted it into food for India, for the Indian people, for the people of India, or turn it into a clothing factory, or a museum, or whatever a church, a Hindu church. You say, okay, you blew up a Hindu church, now we're going to convert this to a Hindu temple. And you're going to leave. You're going to leave here. You know, for terror, they also should get the death penalty too. They shouldn't just leave and get away with it. No, execute them. Just like that. Simple. And the lawyer who defends them also. I would do it. Thank God I'm not the leader of India. Because these these Muslims, believe me, they would be terrorized to no end. Many of them would probably convert to Hinduism. Because they'd be, oh my God. Let me keep quiet for a bit. What I would do with them, forget about it. They would convert or they would flee. They would flee the hell out of India before I got my hands on them. Okay, let's see what else here says. Good news. I got some good news here. Thank God. U.S. airstrikes takes out Muslim leader who masterminded murder of U.S. soldier at Kenya airfield. Excuse me. The birthplace of you know who? Guess who? Yeah, it's him. Right, there you go. You said it. Barack Hussein Obama, alias, born with the name Bobby Soetoro. Yeah. Barack Hussein Obama. That's why he almost destroyed us. That's why he gave billions of dollars to our most fervent enemies, and then declared us in bankrupt. We're bankrupt. I mean, we're broke. He said, we're broke. With that face, just like he said sweetly, we're broke. Another terrorist who should have been, you know what I said before. He should have been. The guy was a traitor. He should have been swinging from a building. Okay, let me go. Now the end of this, which I always end, the last one, from the Religion of Peace. This is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And if they don't get these people out, they close down their mosques, it's going to stop being a republic. Democratic Republic of Congo, jihad group murders 11 Christians in revenge for military action against it. Imagine the international outcry of a Christian terror group, if there was such a thing. Murdered 11 Muslim civilians. But this is just another news story that will be like the proverbial tree falling in the forest with no one to hear it. 11 Congolese Christians killed in ADF Islamist militant attack. If it would have been the contrary, like it says here in the news, you would have heard all. It would have flew all around the world like a virus. But since it's them, in the United States, you don't hear about it unless you go to a page that exposes all this that's happening, all these mass murders by Muslims. The only one that are doing it. I don't know of any other religion, Hindu, Buddhist, any other that's doing this. Only them. You can keep on calling it peaceful all you want, I call it a criminal terrorist organization. Just like one ex-Muslim mentioned. Go to the page. You can go to the page. It's called Jihad Watch, or you can go to my blog. Write down my name. Remember, write down my name, Eduardo Rodriguez, and then I pledge allegiance to the flag, which is my blog, because all the news that I post, be of the United States, Israel, and these satanic cult called Islam, you can read it on my page, on my blog. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn. And I'm also on WhatsApp. So you're not passing all around. A lot of people should get organized, especially the conservative movement in the United States who support Donald Trump. Should get together and do these web stream. It's simple. If you got a computer and you don't know how to do it, you just call the technician of your computer, of the company of your computer, and ask them, look, I want to know I can web stream because I can't get in. And they'll help you out. They'll help you follow through and activate. So you can start doing web streaming too. Okay, let me go to another one. No, let me go to the United States now. I already passed through Islam. Student wearing MAGA hats told to leave coffee office. I got a video here, and I'm going to put the video because it talks better than what I can explain.
And also developing tonight, caught on camera, conservative students at Fordham University here in New York say that they were kicked out of a campus coffee house because of thought discrimination and a dislike for their hats. Watch.
I don't want people like you supporting this club. No one cares about people like you supporting our club. You are wearing hats violence in this club. Yes, it does. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's just a Nazi. Okay, but you want 3 minutes. I'm not saying fascism on this guy. I see 3 minutes.
Wow. Fordham University sent us a statement that says this in part: there is no university safe space policy, no one that excludes appropriate student conduct process. Here now is one of the students in the video, Aaron Spring. Aaron, good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here. That's the hat that you were wearing that she said represented fascists?
Well, the Make America Great Again hats were the one she said represented fascism. However, after they said that, they did attack this American flag hat, which I'm holding up, saying that we were affiliated with the Make America Great Again people, and therefore we had to leave as well. We didn't leave, we stood our ground.
So did you ask her what's unsafe about you guys being there and why she's not open to discourse, why you're not allowed to think what you want to think?
Well, yes, and part of what she was talking about was that we violated the safe space and that we represented Nazism and fascism and all this just made up liberal propaganda, really. And we were in there, we were just a group of friends trying to talk, have a cup of coffee, and have, political conversation, and
did
just
you guys
attack
go in, this space is sort of notorious, they've said that they don't want you guys there. So did you go there to provoke a confrontation?
No, of course not. We were just a couple of friends going to get coffee, having a talk. We walked in, and it said, all are welcome. It says on the sign, all are welcome. But that only pertains to people who have the same thoughts and the same, opinions as the people who ran that cafe.
So what's the university going to do about it? What do you think?
I don't think they're going to do anything about it. I think it's up to patriots such as myself and other people on campus to kind of step up and start fighting for free speech. And Campus Reform, which is a great group at campusreform.org, has really stepped up to this issue and was able to help in organizing this interview here. And we need people like that to continue to push and get free speech to be recognized.
Yeah, I mean, Campus Reform definitely looks for injustice across campuses and tries to find places where people are not, where there isn't actually. This is not a safe space.
No, it's not.
It wasn't safe for you guys.
No, it was not a safe space at all.
Did you guys, do you feel, when you're looking back on it, do you think you did anything wrong?
No, I firmly believe
You were polite?
I was polite. I bought a cup of coffee. I patronized them. I sat down. I didn't make any noise. I wasn't rude. I didn't curse at anybody. I was just sitting enjoying a cup of coffee with friends.
And the woman that we see in there, what's her role in the coffee shop?
We believe she's a manager. She's definitely upper level employee, and she just.
But she gets to decide who can have coffee and who can't.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for bringing your story to us. Let us know if there are any developments and what the university, what their response is, because it'll be interesting to watch. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks for having me.
Aaron Spring. Good to see you tonight.
I got a better idea. Why don't they sue the college campus, the college, for permitting this, or fire the manager and sue the manager? And if the college permitted this to happen knowingly, with knowledge of what happened, sue the college. And you could get free college. Don't be paying for your own college for being stupid. If they're that stupid and that extreme, hey, sue them. Sue the hell out of them. Have them, hey, your college tuition will be free. All the books and everything on the house. Plus, you'll have leftover to buy yourself a luxury car. Think about it. Making money. You know, they don't want to listen. Let's sue the hell out of them. Let's sue the hell out of the point where they're going to have to all open up and keep their mouth shut and accept anybody. Except Muslims. I can see a difference between Muslims and American patriots or communists. If they go in there with a different attitude and the campus cafeteria permits it, sue them. That's what you have to do. Sue them. Believe me, it'll be worth it. Because, economically, hey, they're going to have to change or they're going to go bankrupt and put another manager or another cafeteria or go on another cafeteria on the outside too. Patronize another cafeteria that's near the campuses. Boycott the place. Boycott until they have to close or they go in bankruptcy. Or sue them is another reason to go bankrupt. Sue the hell out of them. That's what you got to do. Get a good lawyer, a good conservative lawyer. Say, no, we're going to a lawsuit of how much they make, how much they have. They owe 10 million. Sue them for 20 million. Make them go bankrupt. That's what you got to do. There's a video, so you got proof right there. Make sure you get a good a Trump supporting judge and a good Trump supporting lawyer that will take no crap from anybody and just bankrupt the hell out of them. The lawyer's going to benefit anyway too. I'm not going to put this video because I don't want to hear anything Mike Bloomberg has to say. Once he's a traitor, used to be a Republican, and now he's going to come up with a 3-minute coronavirus video, like blaming Trump, and impeach him. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Let me see. Just to discredit him, I'm going to put it on. I just want to discredit this bum. Good
evening. I know this has been a very worrisome week for many Americans.
See what this bum has to say.
Coronavirus is spreading.
Yep.
Good evening.
Excuse me.
I know this has been a very worrisome week for
Flip
many
that on my
Americans.
hands.
The coronavirus is spreading, and the economy is taking a hit.
There you
Markets
go.
have fallen because of uncertainty. At times like this, it's the job of the president to reassure the public that he or she is taking all the necessary steps.
And he acts like he's the president of the United States with the flag in the back of him, like he's a patriot and he's a
The
traitor
public wants to know their leader is trained, informed, and respected.
who praises China.
They want someone in charge who can marshal facts and expert orders. The Centers for Disease Control and the National Institutes of Health must be given all of the resources necessary to do their job free of political interference. Decisions must be based on data and must empower the doctors and scientists
I
whose
don't want
job
to hear
it
this
is.
guy.
Minister
If you want to hear it,
services
you can go
and
to my
deploy
blog and
first
hear the
responders.
crap this guy has to say. Look, the only plus I could give him is that he's not so deranged like Bernie Sanders, who come on video. He'll make a video and start talking about that the United States is racist, 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 racist. Oh, and this is going to be free. You're going to have a free chicken. You're going to have a free college. You're going to have a free everything. Everything's going to be free. Everything. The air you breathe is going to be free. The women that you want to get, they're going to be free. Free this, we're going to pay for this. You want to get married, go ahead, get married. We're going to pay for it. You're going to have kids, we're going to pay for it. At least this guy is not like Bernie Sanders. He doesn't talk the same crap. I don't trust him because a person who's a traitor leaves the party and goes to a communist now, a movement, which has turned into a communist party, the CPUSA. I don't trust this guy. Then talking great about the wonders of Chinese communist regime, which is brutally oppressive. Only thing that has gone to open to free marketing, that's all, because communism didn't work there. Now they were booming economic power. Why? Because of that reason. Showing that capitalism does work. Communism doesn't, because as a matter of fact, a lot of people that gain wealth, they leave in China to come to the United States because of the oppressive system they're living under. The pressure of the communism regime. Another case of discrimination against conservatives. This one I'm going to put it on to. Let me put the title says Kentucky man held at gunpoint for wearing a MAGA hat speaks out. A man held at gunpoint in Kentucky for wearing a MAGA hat. This is why when I went to visit the United States to go to my son's house and travel a little bit with my wife last year in May, the month of May, I didn't buy the hat. One, because I'm not tall enough, to confront anybody. I'm just a short guy, very short. I'm almost the size of Michael Savage, according to the height Michael Savage is, which I think is 5'5", according to what I think he said it. So I'm not built big enough to say, well, defend myself pretty well. So what I did is I bought a T-shirt. So they knocked out they couldn't knock off the only thing they can hit me and knock me down, but they couldn't take off my T-shirt. I mean, I bought a T-shirt with the emblem, MAGA. It said "Make America Great Again." It didn't say MAGA. I remember in the travel in Washington D.C., I went to the Wax Museum, and I remember this bus stopped, and a whole bunch of young kids came out with MAGA hats, and they were looking at me. Some of them, since I had my my veterans, I had a cap that said United States Navy, and I had the T-shirt on. A lot of say, hey, thank you for your service, and I would say hi to them and all that. And, it was kind of funny because they kept coming down, with MAGA hats, and I was enjoying it. I was so happy. I said, wow, this is great. I felt like I really felt at home. But then I met with a lot of people who would praise my T-shirt. I remember this, which it surprised me because I thought a lot of African American people were against Trump and against America. And I remember I went into the Arlington Cemetery to visit Arlington Cemetery with my wife. And at the receiving station, this young African American man, very kind, he surprised me because he said, "Here, he went like this." I was kind of like taken back because I didn't know what he wanted, and he wanted me to put my fist against his and say, "Hey, give me a like," and I said, "Hey, I'm with you." I said, "Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you." And besides that, he said, "Well, thank you for your service. Thank you, sir. God bless America." Oh, I was happy. I loved it. There's always a 2 or 3 A's I don't want to say the word. But there's always some dummy that try to ruin your day. I went to a restaurant and there was this one guy. He looked like he didn't like what I represented. And, he tried to make my. I should have walked out of there. I should have walked out. I kind of it pissed me off that we were hungry. I didn't want to go further because we had the first day I went there. The bus wasn't traveling up to Arlington, and then when we got there, I had to walk and cross the Potomac on foot. On foot, because I don't think even Uber went in there. So I had to walk on foot, cross the Potomac to Washington D.C. with my wife, and we were so tired. We crossed the field all the way up to the mall, and then we went into a restaurant, the first restaurant that we found, and it was a pizza place. And the guy that was one of the servants there, it looked like he just hated us. He just hated us. Even though I gave him a tip too. I shouldn't have I should have just walked out of there. I said, no, wait a minute. We're sorry. We want to cancel the order, and just walked out. I should have told there was a manager there who was telling them, hey, go here, look, take care of this. I should have told her, hey, you better get rid of that guy. That guy's no good for business. He's going to ruin your business. According to his accent and his tone, he seemed like he was a Mexican, but he knew English pretty well. But if the guy remembers me, because it was me, this video might get to him. He might see it. I'll never forget that. He was nasty and he was unpolite. I should have gone to your manager and I should have had him fire you. Say, hey, you should get rid of that guy. He's bad for business. He's going to destroy your business. This guy's nasty. That's what I should have done. Here, let me put the video of the guy in Kentucky who was.
Scary moment for a Kentucky couple last weekend after a man allegedly pulled a gun on them at Sam's Club and threatened their lives. Scary moment for a Kentucky couple last weekend after a man allegedly pulled a gun on them at Sam's Club and threatened their lives.
See how tough he's going to be in prison.
Joins me now. So Terry, take us through what happened. You're at Sam's Club. You're with your wife. You got your MAGA hat on. What happened next?
Well, we was walking to the checkout line, and Mr. Phillips was approaching us. I had turned to look at my wife and was talking with her when he flipped us off, and her facial expression changed instantly. Yes, give us a finger. And her facial expression changed instantly, and she said, he flipped us off. And when I spun around, I seen his hands going down with his fingers still up. And she said, excuse me, did you flip us off? And he turned around and went into an explicative tirade. Yes, I did, because of those hats.
Wow.
And that's when I decided to confront him about it.
All right, so then it kind of moved out into the parking lot. You were defending your wife's honor. He then allegedly pulled a gun on you?
No, Jesse, actually it was still inside the store. I had walked around. He was trying to walk away, and I went in front of him, and I put my finger in his face, and I said, what gives you the right to flip me off just because of the hat that I wear? And he started in again, so another altercation occurred, and that's when he drew a .40 caliber pistol out and stuck it in my face inside the store with numerous people around.
Okay, so there's witnesses. He pulled the gun out, pointed it to your head. What did he say when he pulled the gun out?
He said, this is a good day for you to die.
Jesus.
And I simply replied to him, then pull the trigger. You're either going to pull the trigger or you're going to put the gun down and face me like a man. And he started backing up, and as he was backing up, we're still arguing. He said again, yeah, this is a good day for you to die. And I warned him again, because I kept walking towards him. I said, then pull the trigger or put the gun down and face me like a man. That's only two choices you've got.
Wow.
And that's, we kept arguing, and as he backed up, he took the gun and stuck it in the back of his belt, the backside of his belt.
Right.
And one of the management from Sam's Club had stuck around the corner. He said, "Did he pull a gun on you?" And I turned and looked at him. I said, "Yes, he did." And I went after him.
All right.
Turned around,
Well,
he was
listen,
gone.
it's amazing that someone has a gun pulled on them simply for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. I assume you haven't been contacted by a lot of the mainstream media reporters. If this had been the other way, you probably would have been on every single TV show. But, no one should be threatened for wearing a political hat on either side of the aisle. I'm glad you and your wife are okay, and hopefully this guy serves some hard time. Terry, thank you very much.
I hope so.
Well, let's see what happens now in prison when they confront him. Oh, you're tough. Come over here. Hey, come over here. And they start throwing bars of soap at him in the shower room. Lo, Mitt Romney's welcome at CPAC was one he'll never forget. Excuse me, I said hell. It was one he'll never forget. I'm gonna put it so you can hear it.
This is a news alert. LOL, Mitt Romney's welcome at CPAC
It's from New News Network.
I'm Josh Bernstein filling in for Gary Frenchie in the Next News Network.
The Next News Network, excuse me, I said New News. Next News Network.
So please do us a favor. Make sure you
It's great. I recommend you watch it.
Please check out the newsletter in the description below. Now let's get to your story here.
Great, short, and to the point.
Nieto from the Daily Caller, Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney's name was booed during a speech given by Turning Point USA leader Charlie Kirk at the Conservative Political Action Committee, or CPAC. The Republican Party of Mitt Romney, said Kirk, as the crowd erupted in boos. He didn't really say Mitt Romney, but I'm calling him that. Correct answer, by the way, correct. Every time his name is mentioned, you should respond that way, he declared. Go ahead and roll this clip.
You believe President Donald Trump has empowered a resurgence of conservatism on college campuses across the country. The exact opposite of what the media might lead you to believe. I'm going to tell you why. The Republican Party of Mitt Romney, correct answer, by the way, correct. Every time his name is mentioned, you should respond that way. Because he lied to every single person in this room that knocked on doors for him, that made phone calls for him, that donated his campaign. Because we thought that he was going to be a crusader against the Marxist president that preceded Donald Trump. And now he asks and he begs for the endorsement of Donald Trump for the Senate in Utah. And then he goes and votes for that sham unconstitutional impeachment. He embodies the very same political class that President Trump ran against. But the party of Mitt Romney was a party that did not fight. It was a party that wanted to preserve the ruling class. It was a party that did not give the next generation confidence and courage and conviction to stand for what is correct. And I can tell you, when students on college campuses wear those beautiful Make America Great Again hats, and I'll tell you, if you want to be a rebel on a college campus, wearing a Bernie Sanders shirt will get you thumbs up, high fives, and invites to all the coolest parties. You want to be a rebel, wear that hat on a college campus. You want to see what true rebellion is? Try walking around Brown, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, UCLA with that hat. But I'll tell you, finally, we have a president that understands the 7 mountains of cultural influence.
The college conservative leader went on to rail against the party of Mitt Romney that, quote, wanted to preserve the